We have Australia's largest range of tyre brands and sizes. Find a cheaper identical tyre locally stocked and we'll beat it. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you.
It's the original Melbourne derby, PlayStation 4 NPL Victoria live from Knights Stadium as Melbourne Knights host South Melbourne. It's so important for very different reasons. Melbourne Knights trying to clamber their way out of the relegation playoff place, while South Melbourne are in an arms race for the title where not just the points but goal difference is proving so important. Bentley Greens up to 42 points. They are plus 16 goals difference. They would have played 2 more games than Heidelberg now though. We watch South Melbourne break over to the right for Sheeny. Swings in across. Suri dives into a header. Only as far as Miller at the top of the area though. Onto his right foot. And high over the target. I did say the referee earlier tonight was Jack Morgan. I have to apologise. It's not Jack. It's a gentleman who looks a bit like him, but I must admit I don't recognise the ref this evening. Suri went without the ball as he tried to get on the end of a loose Lujic first touch. Lujic looking for Schroen. Flag stays down. Schroen wants his left. Great save by Chalmers. Able to extend his right foot and get the ball away. And that was a vital stop to keep the score at 0-0.
Wonderful. He didn't really get to see much of that. Chalmers stuck the leg out. His body was going the other way and was able to make an excellent save. Positioning was perfect on that because they did have Lujic. He just had to clip the ball to the back post, try to fire it in low across the 6-yard box, and Suri was well positioned as South Melbourne continue their attack.
They're turning up the heat. Norton high ball. Lujic has lost his marker and the header is over the bar. Unmarked header from Milos Lujic and should have done better. Dixon cuts to his right. Plays the ball back to Hicks, and now Timmins. Now Dixon, ducking and weaving, and able to get away from the attention of Miller. Dixon with a dipping shot. 2 teams heading for the FFA Cup. One team, as we see, possession given away by Suri. And now onto his right foot, Epifano turns it over the bar. Out for a goal kick, it wasn't that close. On FFV radio, it was not the most memorable game. It was in that streak of 1-0 results that Hume City were having. Yeah. However, they did win it.
They did win it, and they were probably the better of the side. Nick Hegarty uncharacteristically missed a penalty in that game as well. But it was Wayne Wallace who really dominated that game. And
Schroen shooting from distance, deflected. South Melbourne lead. Marcus Schroen continues his hot streak. And South Melbourne from distance against Melbourne Knights this season has been a winning recipe. It's 1-0. Marcus Schroen's eyes lit up and said, "Stand off me. Here's what my left foot can do." In the 28th minute, South Melbourne 1, Melbourne Knights 0.
Really out of nothing there. Schroen from long range. Marcus Schroen, hot form, and he puts another nail in Melbourne Knights' sort of NPL season.
The Aussie groundhopper says, just as I thought this game was... Oh, corner's cleared away. Thank you, Chris. And now counter-attack on for South Melbourne. Miller. And a perfectly timed challenge from Jurcic to knock the ball off his feet. I apologise there for missing the corner, but the Aussie groundhopper says, just as I was thinking this game was boring af, Marcus Schroen hits one from 30 yards. Now, what's going on off the ball here? Jurkovic is down, and there's a bit of it to do. I think Pavlu's getting involved. Brad Norton's there. No cards, and it looks as though Tom Cahill is far more unhappy about that than Brad Norton. Now possession with Pavlu. Plays the ball over to Fashini. Able to break away from Dixon. Fashini's right-footed cross. Lujic at the far post and held on the bounce.
Normally this time of year they see them drop off.
Schroen, corner high to the far post. Rising up, Constantinides headed away off the line. Eager was there, and it was well defended in the end by Timmins. The ball is cleared, and now through the left side. Norton trying to make a run. Short passes. 1-2 with Eager. Cross halfway. Back into the defensive half, South Melbourne. Over to the right for Sheeny. Has spent a lot of time in the attacking half at right back tonight. Pavlu. Now Schroen. South Melbourne looking to drive it into the attacking third. Over to the left. Norton getting forward. Knights back in numbers. Norton onto his right foot. Epifano keeps it moving. Miller, Epifano straight into the grasp of Chalmers. Promising build-up from South Melbourne. Patient. Hicks plays it to Timmins. Timmins beyond Dixon. Rolls down to Michael Eager and able to find Matthew Miller. He really has been the man trying to break the lines and drive midfield and turn it into attack this evening. Epifano, long ball on cue, finds Miller, making an enterprising run, but he left the ball behind. Goes and wins it back off Lujic, and now square ball. Zinni deflected, palmed into the path of Lujic, who was offside. And he couldn't get his feet right for the follow-up anyway. Chalmers able to deny Stefan Zinni.
Wonderful reaction there from Chalmers.
Marcus Schroen's goal, the difference between the teams.
It's a lot different with this sort of derby. It's a weird sort of atmosphere with the...
Cahill able to run onto the ball, plays it over to the right. Ibrahim's got space. Ibrahim with the cross, and it's parried. Cahill follows up, but he's facing away from goal. Rolls it back to Dixon, and Dixon loops it over the bar, and that's Knight's best chance of the night gone begging. And goes backwards again. Hicks sideways. Lujic, Knights owning the ball. Tempting fate here. Will the referee blow for half-time or let this play out? Jurkovic plays it to Ibrahim. Stops on the line, rolls it back. Lujic with the cross. Cahill's there, loose touch. Cahill follows up. Great save by Roganovic. And now teeing up Timmins, and it's volleyed away by Konstantinidis. What a chance for Tom Cahill. It's half-time as South Melbourne clear their lines and survive. And at the break, it is South Melbourne 1, Melbourne Knights 0, but not without the best chance of the half for Knights. Saved at point-blank range from Nick Roganovic. Schroen, left-footed free kick, and puts it high, and out for a goal kick. Over the bar it goes. Chalmers hits it high and long. Harris heads it away. And over to the left side. Epifano trying to get around Lujic, and does. Cross in, looking for Lujic. Slid at the near post, couldn't connect with the ball.
As against Whittlesea, and keep their charge as they look to bounce back straight into the NPL next year.
Let's break from the preview, because Knights are on the attack. Dixon over on the left side loses Fascini, and now he's breaking into the box. Dixon crosses it in. Harris across the face. Glancing blow off the boot of Kim Harris, and Cahill arriving at the far post. Couldn't get a touch, but really it's Harris's miss that leaves Melbourne Knights frustrated on the end of another promising move. So you wonder if they can capitalise with the score only 1-0. This is maybe their opportunity to break through. Cahill turns, fires, and puts it wide right, and it was always. Here's the throw from Lujic. Over the head of Harris this time. Schroen only clears as far as Jurkovic. Ball pinballs in the area, into the crossbar. Kamal Ibrahim's bending shots back off the woodwork and cleared out for yet another corner. Knights couldn't have got much closer than that.
What a game of inches. Deflection shot put South Melbourne in the league, and a deflection there. Come off the crossbar and out for the Melbourne Knights, but they've got another corner to keep on the attack with Hicks in the corner. He did start last week, did Jesse Daly, and he's one of the youngsters at South Melbourne that's shown plenty. He had a hamstring injury a couple of weeks ago and missed the Hume game. I'd suggest he probably missed this game as well.
Epifano plays the ball to Schroen. Back to Epifano, firing on his left and putting it just wide to the right. Chalmers may well have had it covered were it any closer. I think the bottom line is if Box Hill win this, 7 points will be too many for Eastern Lions to catch them. However, if they lose this, Richmond make it potentially a three-way tie between those teams. All of them just 4 above Eastern Lions. Here's Dixon firing just wide to the right.
Not far away, did well, skipped inside from the right-hand side onto that left foot.
So unless there's been something to cause many more minutes of injury
Stella
time.
or Govis?
Well, this one's Roberto Stella.
Roberto Stella.
Through ball, played by Norton. Miller cuts onto his right foot, and no power behind the shot, picked up by Chalmers.
A Bendigo side that's really, really struggled in the NPL era.
One away from conceding their 100th goal of the year as well, which is never a good statistic. Ball from Epifano into the path of Norton, hooking it to the edge of the 6-yard box. Martin clears it once. Norton back to Schroen, bursting through the left side. Can he control the ball? He guides across, looking for Lujic. Shouts for handball, and the referee says penalty.
Yeah, he was held on to, I thought, a penalty as well. He got the 2 Knights defenders. He was sandwiched in the box.
Furious, and now Chalmers and Daly having a bit of a to-do. Tempers are fraying. The assistant referee is the centre of attention here, because I suspect his flag might have been the decisive call. I think both teams were shouting for handball, really. And now the...
to me, it looked like it was a handball off Lujic, but he was held back.
Push and shove, and Michael Eager getting fired up.
Oh, here we go. The Derby pushes and shoves.
Coming in. There's been a yellow card given to Fraser Chalmers. He leaves the scene. Central referee just trying to protect his lino here because...
To me, it looked like that Lujic was going to win that header. He was held back at the back post, and I think that Lujic did handle it after that, but he was definitely held back.
Was it the initial handball, or could I even be as crazy to think that it was Suri placing the ball on the ground, believing it to be Knight's free kick? Referee still nowhere near the actual penalty. Lujic has just taken it for himself over to the penalty spot, really. And what's happened? They've reversed it. They've reversed it. Extraordinary. Milos Lujic had taken the ball and put it on the penalty spot, and the referee has reversed the decision. And South Melbourne perhaps thinking along the same lines as me, Chris, that maybe the penalty was given for Suri taking the ball and placing it on the ground.
Well, it's a lot of confusion, and
either way, it's only 1-0. Cvitkovic plays the ball to Dixon. Now Jurcic. Imagine if Knights score here. Jurcic trying to get away and does from Konstantinidis. Cahill under the ball, can't get a header on it. Ibrahim at the far post and sends it high over the bar and wide out for a goal kick. Follow-up from Norton, volleys it on. Daly at the fall, and he will clear. Norton still charging. Jurcic committed full-blooded stuff from both players, and it deflects out for a South Melbourne throw. And again, the time wasting will continue. South Melbourne trying to lock this one down. Norton throws it into the path of Epifano. He hits the byline with a cross. Lujic at the far post, and that will do it. Milos Lujic has scored for South Melbourne. They absorbed the pressure and they hit them on the counter. Epifano's cross, Lujic's header, and it nestled in the back of the net.
Well, it did look like Norton was going to take his time over that throw. He got a call from Epifano, who made a lung-bursting run forward, quick throw in over the top, and just stood it up at the back post. And Milos Lujic was able to head the ball across the goalkeeper, and it just rolled into the back of the net. 2-0 South Melbourne. They seem like they're going to get all the 3 points here and go equal top with Bentley and Heidelberg. And
South have got a time-wasting sub lined up over on the sidelines. Suri, Jurcic. Jurcic, deflected cross, Advorny chasing the fall. Good technique to cut it back over the head of Ibrahim. Hicks charging into the box and puts it wide left, out for a goal kick.
South Melbourne will go up to 42 points as well as Heidelberg, and Bentley Green's winning tonight, go to 42 as well.
If you had to put your house on one of them, here's the free kick from Cvitkovic, flick headed from Suri, and just missed by Cahill, sliding in. Going to try and keep it moving. High ball into the attacking half. Cahill still trying, over the head of Advorny. Konstantinidis, now Miller. Konstantinidis, Monopolis gets his first touch off the bench. Plays it into the path of Schroen. Lujic is calling for it at the far post. Schroen with a perfectly measured ball and a good save by Chalmers to bat it away. And, well, ultimately window dressing for the result, but that was at least an important save. And who knows, goal difference thrown in. Norton plays it to Lujic. Back to Daly. And the full-time whistle delivers derby victory for South Melbourne. 2-0 the full-time score, but not without Melbourne Knights. Again, creating a wealth of chances that they just couldn't put in the back of the net. Shades of the first derby of the season at Lakeside Stadium. It ends in disappointment for Knights. South Melbourne 2, Melbourne Knights 0.
Marcus Schroen, so we spoke to you last week after a hat-trick, a sensational week, but in some ways even better this week because that was an outstanding goal. Talk us through that one.
Yeah, the defence was sitting off a bit, so every time I got the ball, just wanted to kind of drive forward and then see what would open up. And yeah, just found space and decided to have a hit, and lucky it flew in.
I'm going to put a question to you, mate. I'll take you back around 12 months ago. You had an average game against Avondale at home. You came off at half-time. I think you're on the bench the next week. And after that, you came back in and really found your form. Go back a few weeks ago, you subbed off at half-time. You were on the bench. You came back on, and now you're finding your form again. So somebody perhaps building on confidence, or somebody who, gets a good run of form, has a little wake-up call. Is that fair to say?
I don't know, to be honest. I just go about my thing, work hard week in, week out. Sometimes it happens for you, sometimes it doesn't. But to be honest, from the inside, I'm not really changing too much. Going about my thing.
Old Club next week, Hume City away. Always a difficult trip, though. We do have a reasonable record there. So what do you do to G yourself up for that one, especially since we've just come off this derby?
It should be an exciting game. We're equal with Heidelberg now, depending on their game later this weekend. But 5 games to go and a lot to play for. We want to finish on top and go to nationals. So Yeah, look at it, it's just another 3 points against a quality opposition.
Well, Chris Taylor, important 3 points there, puts us right back, putting the pressure on Heidelberg, but by no means an easy thing tonight. The Knights were very good, particularly in that second half, and they really threatened to break even. Late goal makes it look probably a bit easier than it was.
Yeah, I mean, certainly they made it hard for us in the second half. I thought we could have had them buried by half-time, though. I thought we probably could have been 2 or 3 up when we weren't. And they've got plenty of fight in them, so they're always going to come back. They're a very spirited side, especially when they play at home. So, yeah, it was very, very difficult, but just pleased to get 3 points.
You're probably disappointed at half-time not to be further ahead given the way we played, but good to see Marcus scoring from range. It's one of his assets, one of the reasons we got him over from Hume. And while he's been scoring fairly well with the hat-trick last week, it was good to see him going into his bag of tricks and doing something that he's known for.
Yeah. Look, it's, you know, big confidence built for him, and same Millsy at the end, you know, getting that goal as well. So we need to share it around a little bit, but you know, the most important thing, it was a disciplined performance by the boys and clean sheet at the back, and we made a couple of changes and rotations, and you know, it just shows that we've got good depth in the squad.
So another difficult trip next week. Hume, who are very hard to play against, although we do have a decent record at their ground, but you know, we got past them in a close one last time, and they'll certainly be coming for us as well. So we need a similar kind of mindset next week, really.
Yeah, I mean, every week's going to be difficult. You know, people want to knock us off. I mean, you know, we are the reigning champions, and you know, people say that every time we play them. So we know that we're in for a battle every week. We just got to be a bit disciplined about what we do. And you know, I thought first half today we played some good football, but really never converted it. So yeah, we just got to put that right.